help get you from where you are to where you want to go. And people would call me salesy and, didn't know if I was authentic or not. And I honor that and I respect them sharing that with me, because at the end of the day, all I've ever wanted to do is help people overcome the challenges in their life that they thought were stopping them from being happy, healthy, and harmonious. Because if we can do that on an individual basis, then that will reflect outwardly to the collective basis. And then hopefully our future generations have an equal opportunity to live on Earth and enjoy all the things that we get to do today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so much there. We could go on, guys. There's so much. I mean, it's so important. One really good point is, yes, is there a system? Has there always been a system in more advanced, larger societies that has used the working class people and even those in between, those kind of running everything, royalty or what have it. We've always had that because that's part of our collective human hierarchy. And just like we are, in a very sensitive time about discrimination, everyone's being discriminated against. Well, I hate to tell you, this is also part of the primate thing. I am not saying it's okay. I'm saying it's a fact. We are 99.9% chimpanzee DNA, whether you like it or not. That's pretty incredible that we're that different than they are, and yet our DNA is 99.9%. And all primates think that way. All animals have some sort of hierarchy, and judgment and discernment is they're kind of two edges of the same coin, but it's part of our survival. So again, you're taking another thing where we are no longer in survival mode every day. We're not running from the saber-toothed tiger every day. And so what happens? What was judgment that would keep us alive? When we were 10,000 years ago, there was a tribe that might, they would eat you. And how did you distinguish? Well, you first would observe. That was one of the main things. What is their accent? How do they talk? How do they look? What size are they? It is a proven fact when we see another person, the very first thing that our human mind does is assess, is it male or female? This is not a bad discriminating thing. This is literally a survival tactic that we have. Because no offense to all of you women out there, but if you're out, you're the woman out there hunting for berries, looking for the non-poisonous berries, while the men are off hunting for a week, you sure as hell better discern if who's coming through the brush is another woman or if it's a man. That's survival. That's how women survive. We project ahead of time. We are preventative, right? Do they need to go hide? Is this a woman across the river? Or is this someone that's from the tribe that would eat you? I mean, this isn't me promoting discrimination, guys. You have to get to know what is natural that now is in our everyday society that we don't need anymore for survival. What you're going to find is it's still such a part of our human makeup that we have to find another way to direct it. Is it right to be discriminatory and mean to other people and judge them? No. But if you're at a stoplight and that light turns yellow, you better learn how to make a judgment. The question is, where and how are we making judgments? And we have to learn to make them better. And this is a huge part of making a decision. It's how we make decisions. Do we stop or go at that stoplight is a decision. Do we trust this salesperson or that salesperson? That's a decision, right? And Chris had a lot of really good points, but the point I was getting at here is when he's talking about it's our responsibility, regardless of what society is doing to us, Your power of choice lies within you. How are you going to respond to that? And I heard you say kind of way back there, Chris, if we all responded differently, individually and then collectively as the masses, the dynamics of society would be forced to change.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be forced to change. We allow ourselves to be brainwashed. Why? Because the powers that be know to offer the masses what they want. What do we want? We want dopamine. So since we want a dopamine fix, how do they control what we do and what we want? Well, when it comes to the end of the day, everybody wants to go home and relax. They want that dopamine fix. They want to sit down and chill in front of the TV or to get on their social media. And what happens? Then that sets you up for that 95% of your mind you're not aware of, that programming. You literally want to get hooked up to the matrix and be brainwashed. You might say to me, Larkin, no, I don't. But you're choosing that every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to take radical responsibility, which we talked about earlier, Chris. We have to take radical responsibility and find out, where do we have our choices? What are our choices? And I always tell my clients, like, always ask yourself, is this choice in the future and the past? That means it's your ego. Or is it being made from the present? Is it the same or different than what you've made before? And are you wanting to make changes? Then you don't want to be making the same choices.
Right.
And does this decision lead you? It's either going to always lead you to or away from where you want to go. Those three choices are very, very important.
Right. Well, I would say they're like signposts to the choice, right? Oh yeah, he agrees. Mike, I appreciate you being in the broadcast today. Thank you for the confirmations.
Well, he had to have something fun to do.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome. Yeah. So, as we're talking about power of choice and it being 111 and everything, Larkin, do you have anything else to add today, or should we call it a day?
Well, I mean, I could go into this topic for hours. So I think this is probably good. I mean, I think for people really interested in the power of choice and what it's all about,
mm-hmm.
And maybe on the precipice of discovering the depth of their power of choice, I think this is probably more than enough. Hi, C. Mark welcome.
Thank you, Raven. I appreciate the kind words. All right, well,
he's doing it.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Thanks again for joining in. Make sure you subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, and keep an eye out for our upcoming workshops and events.
Speaking of which, Chris,
yeah.
are you hosting the prayer circle with me on the 19th or not?
Okay. Sure.
11 a.m. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, guys, I will post that today as an event. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the power of prayer. Chris and I combined have a lot of different cultural and ritual backgrounds and practices when it comes to prayer. And we're going to have a prayer circle where you guys learn the power of collective prayer. And we're going to give you some different ways that are maybe not the best way to pray or not the most powerful way. And then some really powerful ways. And you guys can find what's the best match for you. But I'll go ahead and post that. So, okay.
Sweet.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks for all that you are, all that you do, and all you choose to be today. And we look forward to seeing you next week at 12 o'clock.
See you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.